Do you need to place something behind your subject but don't have a green screen? Also, maybe you don't like rotoscoping. Who likes rotoscoping, honestly? This is a really cool method that I picked up using a plugin called Depth Scanner. Okay, so let's dive into After Effects. We're gonna do something kind of like this. You can see how I've got my text back behind the subject. I've even got a little bit of a shockwave thing going on back there, some fog, and then I put some in the foreground. Just kind of a silly thing, but I mean, you literally can make something like this in just minutes without having to do all of the heavy rotoscoping. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our delivery driver footage and I'm just gonna drop it into a new comp. Now, this comp is a 4K comp. So let's go to composition settings here. I'm just gonna drop it down 1920 by 1080. Now, if you need 4K, you can use 4K, but for this, I prefer, what did I do wrong here? I know, hey, let's add another zero there. 1080, not 108. Let's scale our footage down 50%, and there we go. Okay, set this back to fit, boom. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to read and label this to footage, and we're going to duplicate it, and I'm going to call this one matte, and we are going to add a plugin called Depth Scanner. Now, Depth Scanner is available for purchase. I can leave a link down in the description below, but Depth Scanner is how we're going to today achieve what we're trying to achieve. So you can see right now what it's doing is Depth Scanner is really cool. It somehow, through some sort of wizardry, figures out what is closest to the camera and what is furthest away. We can help it out a little bit. So we can set this over to accurate. It is a slow plugin. It hasn't been updated with After Effects latest updates where it, it does all the really cool stuff and just kind of makes things work a little bit faster. But this is definitely faster than rotoscoping. So we'll set all these here. I have a pretty beastie computer, so it can handle a lot of this, but even on this computer, it does still kind of choke it out. Again, still faster than rotoscoping. So we'll set all of these, and you can see what it's doing here. We have a little bit of stuff in the background still that we need to get rid of, but essentially what we're going to create is a Luma mask. And if you know anything about Luma masks, we talked a little bit about it in our Luma mask tracking for the lens flares. I can't talk today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a curves adjustment, and I'm going to just crush all the blacks that I can and then pull up all the whites that I can. And I can see already that there's going to be a point where I can knock out everything but our foreground subject. And now we have a little bit of stuff going on the edge here. So let's see if we can grab some of that. Boom. Now we have a pure Luma matte for our foreground subject. So what we're going to do is I'm going to shut this layer off, but we're going to add a text. So we'll just say food. And I'm going to make this text a lot smaller. Yeah, something like that. Let's hit our align tool. Let's make it in the center. And then I'm going to take our matte. We're going to drag it above the food layer. I'm going to set it to Luma inverted matte. And what that tells us is that everything that's white, we're going to knock it out. And everything that's black, we're going to keep it. So in our Luma inverted matte, already you can see we have our food back behind our subject. Now, if you wanted to have a little bit of fun with it, I mean, in our social media day and age, obviously, you kind of have to go above and beyond, over the top, whatever. You can do whatever you want to do. So we'll set this here. We're going to set this. Here's one of my other favorite plugins. If you don't have Red Giant's suite, then you're going to miss out on this. But this is another Red Giant goodie right here. It's called Unmult. And basically what it does is it takes your back away. It probably does more than this, but this is my explanation of it. It takes your black away without losing a lot of your details say for instance, if I was just to set this to screen, then I'm losing a lot of my opaque elements just by having it as screen. Unmolt basically does a better job of it. So I'm going to duplicate my matte here, and it's got to think for a minute. All right, we're going to drag it above our shockwave. Cool, super cool. Let's Luma invert that guy, and now we have a shockwave in a few seconds back behind our lady. Now it's got to think for a few. And then what we're going to do is let's scale this guy up. Maybe drag over here. Maybe let's set our resolution to auto. Okay, so here we go. And then what we can do here is we can add a tint, and I can change the white to something a little more fun, like blue. What's really good about this effect is you can actually use it for a lot of VFX things. So if you wanted to add fog or something to your scene, but you really needed to quickly knock the subject out and get the fog into the depth, you can easily do that. You know, we're just going to add thick cloud. I got this from I believe it was from Action VFX. They have a bunch of 4K fog overlays that you can use. And I'm going to go with this unmolt setting. We are going to flip it horizontal, and then I'm going to scale it to 50% just because it is a 4K file. And then maybe I'll actually blow it up just a little bit, and we'll push it to the side so we can keep her in the foreground. This is a nice way to keep, you know, to be able to cut your subject out and to put things back behind them extremely quickly. I use depth scanner for a lot of different things. I use depth scanner and a few different effects that I've had in some upcoming movies. And it's also really nice for comping when it comes to like different VFX, such as like fire, smoke, things like that. And you need to quickly put stuff in the background.
So that's it, guys. That's a quick and easy method to be able to add something behind your subject without using rotoscoping or green screens. I'll put a link down in the description below where you can find depth scanner. So don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like content like this, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep creating.